Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Demetra K Show. I don't know why Donovan's got a screw face. It could be a whole bunch of things going on, but we're going to find out. Anyway, it is the Demetra K Show where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even. Welcome to the Demetra K Show. If y'all could do us a favor, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share this. We would love for you to do that so more people can get the information. Also, just at the top, we have a Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. If you want to donate to this channel, we more than appreciate that. And we also thank you to the members and all of you who do join the Super Chat and all of that already. All right. So anyway, I'd like to say thank you for Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, for being here every Sunday with his insight and humor and misogyny a couple of times and here and there. Also like to say thank you to Marcus Guyton for everything he does behind the scene on Facebook and making the show go further. We are going to be talking about that of Kanye West. You guys might have seen him in the media, the news the last couple of days. Some people say it's shenanigans. Some people saying he's a crusader for fathers' rights. But anyway, we're going to get into it here. So before we get started, Donovan, what say you?
Well, I tried to talk to Demetra to move the show to a couple of hours back because as we know, God's team and America's team is playing right now. And I need your prayers. I need you guys to come together, just like we do for John Lewis and, all the Kamala Harris folks, and pray for the Dallas Cowboys to win this one. They're paying Dak Prescott $75 million for one season. And right now the score is something like, I think it's 15 or 18-7 or something like that. So we need your prayers. We need your hopes. We need your dreams. Because Cowboy Stadium is closed right now, so God really can't see his team to bless them.
Negro. Did you ask for our prayers? Wow. So anyway, I'd like to also say hello and thank you to YouTube and Facebook, the other side of the conversation. We could not and would not do this without you. This is probably one of the only shows that we read each and every comment because we feel like you should be heard as well. So before I get into what I'm here to talk about today, I'm going to read your comments. So Moni, I saw you were here very early. You say, happy, beautiful Sunday at 5:42 p.m. and you're an hour ahead of us. He says, Eastern Standard Time. Welcome, gorgeous Demetra, as sexy Donovan, my excellent brown sugar man. It's cold as hell here. It's like 12 degrees. Ooh, it's like 50 here. So I kind of feel your pain. And you also say anything with Kanye West crusading on you know it's going to be a real problem. This man has too many mental issues that I think he needs to get together and get him some counseling. Okay. And one who cares, how you doing? He says, good evening, Demetra and Donovan in chat. And Thunder, what's going on? He says, hello, everyone. And Donovan, you say, welcome to the Demetra K Show. Hey, y'all, happy MLK Day tomorrow. Yes, indeed. And Georgia Fit Health, how are you doing? It says, hey, family. Black first, yes, indeed. And Tanaya, how you doing? It says, good evening, beautiful people. Honeydew, what's going on? Tracy, Cece, D, Gilvetta, and Mr. Mystical Black Realms. Okay, how you doing? Todd, how are you? Says, how about them Cowboys? Don't sound like they doing too good. All right, so anyway, listen, I will be lying to you if I told you guys I'm abreast pop culture and all that. I'm really not. I'm like 50. I'm older now, okay? So I don't really pay attention a lot to those things, but my daughter does. She's what you call a millennial, I guess, and she's kind of in the know. So anyway, Kanye, I guess was trying to go to his daughter's 4th birthday party, but it sounds like he was being denied access. In fact, I will let him tell you. You guys watch this really quick.
Wishing my daughter a public happy birthday. I wasn't allowed to know where her party was. There's nothing legal that's saying that this is the kind of games that's being played. At the light, it's the kind of thing that really has affected my health for the longest. And I'm just not playing. I'm taking control of my narrative this year. I'm being the father, the best father, the gay version of a father. And I'm not finna let this happen. And we're gonna be in real time with this right here. Chicago, happy birthday. I love you. And I'm just putting this online because I need y'all support. I didn't call Kim, text the nannies. I got on the phone with Tristan. He said he asked Chloe, won't nobody give me the address to my daughter's birthday party right now? And that's going to imprint in her mind that I wasn't there for her. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was supposed to be in Miami recording my album. My whole schedule is all based around me being able to take my kids to school, me being there for them, making sure that I'm in their life. That's the whole point of having money. They take so many fathers just throughout America. They've been taking the fathers out of the homes purposely. So I'm speaking up. I'm using my voice to say, this ain't gonna keep happening. This narrative is not gonna happen. There's a lot of people that's not in a position where they ain't got no voice when people be playing games like this. Baby mamas be playing games. The grandmamas be playing games like this. And it's like, as y'all know, they ain't finna play like that with me.
All right. So as y'all saw there, that was his plea, I guess, for help. As he said, he was taking it to social media because he needed help and he needed support. He reached out to everybody, Tristan, which, who has a kid with Chloe and all of that. And so it does sound like finally he was able to make it to the birthday party. Sounds like Travis Scott is with Kylie, the sister of Kim. He called him and he gave him the address. And I guess he says, this is what he's saying. Once he got there, the bodyguard wouldn't let him in. But he ended up, Kylie told the bodyguard to let him in, and he was able to attend his child's party. Now, I will say this. I've seen the few times that I was online this weekend, I've seen a lot of men, especially Black men, that was happy about him standing up, I guess, for himself as a father, not taking no for an answer in regards to seeing his child. Now, some other stories, again, I don't have all the details. It sounds like Kanye wanted to have a separate party, but for whatever reason, it didn't go through. And so there in the video, he's accusing the mom and the grandmama, which is Kim's mom, Kris Jenner, of blocking, and the nannies, I guess everybody, him going to see his child. And so is he a crusader for fathers' rights, or is Kanye being Kanye, as some people would say? Now, I have my own opinions about it, but I'm going to wait to the end. Donovan, what say you? And then I'm going to get to these comments.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have to agree with him because, unfortunately, and I know some people might not agree with me and might not agree with Kanye, but there has been a blatant effort to remove the father out of the home. And this goes back to the early 1970s. Thus, Demetra K's favorite movie, Claudine. It showed an example of why that is kind of going on and all this other stuff. And it's more prevalent in the Black community. For me, being a father who went through something like that, and the grandparents were also complicit in it, is why I feel the way that I feel in regards to my son and his other family members. Like I said, it will be nothing nice if I ran across those people in real life. And I'm not saying a threat. What I'm saying is it wouldn't be a pleasurable thing for either party. Okay. Because you've got some fathers out there that are really out there busting their ass for their children and want to be with their children. And they're finding in studies, especially recently, that it is better off for the child to be with the father if the father is more financially stable than the mother. This thing, just because a woman is a woman, the child should go with her. I mean, it doesn't make sense. The child should go with who is the most stable parent. So big ups to Kanye West for bringing this issue out of the shadows and more into the light, because this doesn't happen to the average everyday guy sitting around the corner. This is happening to also, as we have seen, Kanye West. You guys heard of the hot sauce and the condom incident. This thing is going on. And once again, women, and I'm not saying whatever color it is, women are not being held accountable for what they do. What good does it do to not let this man be at his child's birthday party? And then that child is going to grow up and say, well, daddy wasn't at the birthday party. Daddy wasn't here. Daddy wasn't there. And then guess what? That's the narrative the child is going to take, not knowing the real issue behind the scenes.
All right. So that's Donovan's take. I'm going to get to y'all comments so we don't get behind. So let's see who else came on here. Hey, Art, how you doing? And D says it's 34 in Georgia. Yeah, what's going on? It's cold everywhere. And Mr. Mystical Black Realms, he says shalom, Black First Family, like and share. Yes, please and thank you. And Gilberto says it snowed today here in Georgia. However, I'm a Midwesterner, so this was nothing. Yeah, that's probably child's play, right? And Kenitra, how you doing? He says, I think they convinced him he was mentally ill. They put him on meds he didn't need. Now he's taking himself off. He's getting back to his old self. That's a good way to look at it. Very interesting. And D say that's his fault. Okay. And Cece says playing the victim as usual. And Gilberto says Kim was wrong. She know how he feels about his children. Okay. And then Mr. Mystical, he says this happened the way he said. This happened the way he said. This was disrespectful. Let the man have some normalcy. And let's see here. Oops. I lost my place. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, and then D says next child support. Well, they say he's worth, into the billions, 2, 3, maybe 400 billion. I mean, 400 billion would be nice, huh? 4 billion. And she's worth about $1 billion too. So I don't know if child support will really be an issue between the both of them, but it could be. Hey, Monet, how you doing? And tonight it says, honestly, I'm sick of Kanye. He's a problem for our community. Dimitri, I feel absolutely nothing for Kanye. Woo, okay. And D says, me, either I feel nothing. Wow. And so CC, you're agreeing. And Mr. Mystical said this was a good issue raised about fathers not having access. I think so too. And Honeydew, he says, I feel for him and he has a voice to try and create change. CC, you say, no one removed Kanye from the home. He drove them away. Come on. So that's the other thing too. They are, I guess, I don't know if they're divorced yet, but Kim did file for divorce in February of last year. So they were not together, just to say that. And they kind of both moved on with other people. So there's other issues there. And Gilberto says, at the end of the day, he is still the father. D says he wanted a cave. Now look how she rocking. God. And Todd, you say, Kanye said he's being the yay version of a father. What the hell is that? The mental breakdown version of a father. But a few days ago, Kanye allegedly assaulted someone because of an autograph. The boy is mental. Who knows what fuss he may have caused at the party. Okay. And see, you say, I'm all for strong Black fathers. I was raised by one, but Kanye is not innocent. And Mr. Mystical says, and there are subliminals even in American advertisements and American politics. Yes, indeed. And Kenitra, you say he went to that party and didn't disrupt anything. His child enjoyed her father. That's the card villains doing them. And Thunder says, this shit has got to stop. As men, no one cares about us unless we make a mistake. And D says, I was locked up and got out. My daughter was gone. I know how he feels, but I feel nothing because he wanted a cave. So I guess you're saying a white woman. And Honeydew says, true. Kanye is not innocent, but as far as using his voice for those fathers that put in the work, hopefully it could help. And Joel, how you doing? It says, hey, my beautiful Israelite sister and my Israelite brother Donovan, what's going on? And old school, how you doing? You say, Kim doesn't have a mind of her own. She has to do everything her mom tells her to do. I've heard that too. And Thunder says, I'll prove no one cares about men. How many homeless men do you see versus women? And how many women crisis centers do you see? But I ask, where is the men's crisis center? I'll wait. And Rex, Rex, how you doing? Says, hey, hiya, Demetra Donovan. Much love and respect to you too. Same to you. And Robin, welcome back. Mwah. Glad to see you back.
Demetra was having a conniption saying, oh, Robin, where is she at? Oh my God.
I was trying to find her and I went on your page, but I couldn't see how to send you an email or anything like that. So I'm glad you're back. The Pioneer, what's going on with you? I'm glad you are here as well. He says, good evening, beautiful queen and king, chat family. And Sunlight, how you doing? And D says, caveman means anything not, cave means anything not Black. Okay, got you. Sunlight says, I knew this would be the topic. Laugh out loud. And Rex said, that being said, I couldn't give 2 F's about the life struggles of a multi-millionaire. Correction, multi-billionaire. So anyway, that is the comments for so far. So I will say this. I personally like Kanye. Now, is Kanye crazy for real? I don't know. I don't know if he's crazy for real. It's been said a lot about people.
But what is crazy? What is normal?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I don't know if he's, certifiable, like straight jacket, type of stuff. I don't know if that's the case. Maybe he is. I'm not saying he isn't. But I just tend to think, because I've listened to Kanye. And I really, really have listened to a lot of things he said, especially when he was running for president. And I know a lot of people took exception to him kind of buddying up to Trump or whatever. Sounds like he realized that was a mistake. And so he decided to run for president. But Kanye was really talking some good stuff. If you guys listen to him on the Joe Rogan podcast, Kanye was talking some good stuff, especially in regards. I left out your comment, Pioneer. Where? Let me see. Did I? It says, good evening, beautiful queen and king in chat. That's the only comment I see from you. That's the only one I see, unless it got deleted somehow. But anyway, so he was saying some pretty good stuff in regards to Black people, specifically. Well, one of the things he was saying about the abortion rate of Black babies. He says nobody wants to talk about that. He says those are the conversations that we need to talk about. He talked about gentrification and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so I just tend to think a lot of times when it comes to Kanye, we allow the media to really tell us who he is. But if you actually listen to Kanye in his own words, he's really saying some good stuff that's beneficial to Black people. But especially in regards to politics, we only believe that we can only vote for the Republicans or the Democrats. Either one of them have to be right. But then you have somebody like Kanye is like, listen, I'm running for president and I want to talk about some things that directly affect Black people. But unfortunately, a lot of people didn't hear that because everybody was listening. Oh, Kanye's crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. Has he done some crazy stuff? Yeah. Who hasn't? You know what I mean? But anyway, in regards to him and this whole Father Crusade thing, I agree with some of you. And I think, Honeydew, you really made the point that he could use his platform to bring awareness to that, because we talk about it a lot on this show, how men are denied, rights as far as seeing the kids and, child support issues and things like that. And so, yeah, Kanye is using his situation. And I always say this because I hear a lot of men say, oh, she wouldn't let me see the kids. Oh, so I just stopped going to see the kids. Should nobody, not even hell, should get in the way of you going to see your child. And so I applaud Kanye for saying, I did all I could do. I called their mama's mama, God, and God's mama to try to find out where my child was on her birthday, because her mama and her grandmama and everybody else was not going to stop me from seeing my child. Now imagine if a lot of men who are in his situation took the road that he took. You're not going to stop me from being a part of my child's life, regardless of who I'm with, regardless of who you with. Those are my children. It should also be said, too, that he did move across the street from his kids. So I don't know what's going on with that. He said a couple of times that he tried to go visit and the bodyguards tried to keep him away. And his daughter came to the door and he was like, come in, daddy. He's like, I can't come in, because the bodyguards, he had to go get his cousins to go talk to Kim. And so it's a lot. So I'm not mad at Kanye for doing what he felt he needed to do within reason to see his children. So I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Donna, you got anything to say before I get to the rest of these comments?
Well, again, it amazes me how no matter how much money you have, the problems and the issues do not change. For some reason, women believe because they have these children that they have sole control and propriety over the children. And I think I'm a very fair person. When I leave a relationship, what do I always say, Demetria? 50% of the problem was me, and that's all I'm going to take. I'm not taking 100%. And I also say this: in all of my relationships, the common denominator was me, right? But for some reason, women think when it comes to these children that they are the arbitrators and nobody else could do these things. And then they weaponize the children. And I think that is the wrong thing to do. These bodyguards, you know what? When it comes to the issue of children and the father comes over, I wouldn't even get involved in that. I would say, yes, sir, here are your children. Walk past me, please. He's the father.
They were probably because they get paid, to do that.
But it should be more than a money issue. This is an issue between a man, a woman, and their children. I would stay out of that issue, and to me that would be a liability issue, because now you're denying me, you're alienating my affection to my children. So if I was a bodyguard, I'd say I wouldn't do a damn thing.
And he's saying there's no legal reason why he can't be around his children, being that there's a restraining order, she's got custody. So he was saying I'm not getting in any way of any legal, thing. So
And again, and I agree with Kanye. I do believe that this is a systematic way to remove fathers from homes. And again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but look where we're at in the communities that have fathers missing. Again, the movie, if you guys haven't seen the movie Claudine, go watch that. Go watch that movie and see how ridiculous it is when the father's removed. In our community, go watch Good Times. What happened to the show after James was removed?
Right.
It's a big issue.
Yep. And Todd, no, I didn't say he was gay. I did say yay, because I was like, did I say that? So I maybe it sounded like I said that I'm getting over the flu. So maybe some of my words didn't come out right. But so you said, I didn't say he was gay. You read it wrong. I said Kanye said in the clip you played that he was being the yay version of a father. So that's what I said. So I apologize if it sounded like I said the other word. And Robbie says, I didn't leave. I was still watching, just listening. I couldn't comment because I was at work. Okay, cool. Good to know. And Pioneer says, you left out my comment. I don't know which one it was because I only saw one. So my apologies. And H. McDaniels, how you doing? It says, hello, D&D. Hello, happy Sunday afternoon. Yes, indeed. And Rex says, quote unquote, there's a fine line between being extremely creative and being plumb local. Yeah, I mean, but, who's to say that he really is plumb local? Maybe he's different. You know what I mean? Maybe he's a little differently than we normally see. I don't know. I'm not making excuses. And Kenitra says, Courtney for a tatted up white boy. Kim followed. Chloe and Kylie are next. They are like a bad game. Well, Simon says, Chris is Simon. They have said that the mom, Chris, is the puppeteer and she pulls all the strings and makes things happen. And some people even saying maybe this is just part of it.
You're using a nice word, puppeteer. Where I'm from, that would be called a madam.
Oh. And Pioneer says, sis, even your brother told us that he acts wild like that in real life. That dude has issues. Yeah, so he did. My Kanye used to be a client of my brother a while back. Yeah, Kanye is, I would say he's different in that he's not average. And when I say he's not average, obviously he's not average because look at the money that he's amassed and all of the, the music and the ventures that he has. I mean, you got to be a little bit different to do and achieve some of the things that he's achieved. A lot of times they say most geniuses are mad to some degree. I don't know. But yeah, so, and then Mr. Mystical, he says, yes, good question. Men should have a crisis center. Yeah, and Thunder made a very good point with that. I can't think of any men crisis centers or help centers that I've ever heard of or seen. And that's just me. I'm not saying they don't exist, but I have not seen them. But yes, we hear of a lot of nonprofits that focus on women and girls. But yeah, so you make a good point, Thunder.
Well, there is a crisis center. It's called Get Your Ass in the Streets.
Okay, got you. All right, let's see here. And how you doing, Reggie? Says that Joe Rogan podcast was good. Yeah, y'all should check it out. It's very insightful. And Mr. Mystical said, yep. And Rex says, sorry, but that man is too far removed from standard logic to be anything other than being another rich man who thinks his money should give him access to our lives. But where did he say that his money should give him access to our lives? Where did he say that? I'm just asking. And Pioneer says, oh, I'm sorry, sis. It must have got deleted. I said there you go, ask in the post. So maybe it was deleted by YouTube. And that's probably what happened. I don't delete comments because I don't have the ability to do it from my end. On this end, I don't. If I was on the app or my on my phone, I probably could. And Mr. Mystical, you say, Sunlight says at Donovan, he never disappoints. And Mr. Mystical, he says, Kanye raises some interesting issues. Yes, he does. And a lady, how you doing? He says, does he want his kids or just want to control over his wife?
That's a good point.
That is a good point too. Because some people are saying that he's upset that she's dating Pete Davidson is who it is.
But I thought that was a Charlie Brown pumpkin or something. The guy looks like he's a type C.
Well, he does have some sort of a disease, a health issue to where his eyes, he looks like he's sick. So he does have an ailment. But But yeah, so some people say that he is not happy that she's dating Pete Davidson and all of that. So you have a good point. I mean, does he want to? Yeah, I think anybody who's watched Kanye and his children, you could tell that he does legitimately love his kids. And the other issue that he raised too is that his I don't know how old North, that's his oldest child, that she's 7 or 8 or something like that. She's on TikTok, and he says he does not feel his child should be on TikTok and have a TikTok account that young. And so he's going back and forth with Kim over that. She doesn't think it's a big deal, but he thinks it's a big deal. Like she's too young to be on that app.
Well, maybe the mother of the Kardashians is saying, look, we got to get these girls started because the rabbit's getting old with these other ones. We got to get the new generation rolling.
I don't know. And hey, Wilbur, how you doing? And Mr. Mystical says facts on facts. You also say Wild and Cooler. How you doing? He says if anyone ran on abolishing child and spouse support system, he would have the largest voter turnout. See, there you go. It could be on something.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's true. But here's the problem: we've been in the streets, Demetri. What's the first thing I say when these people are in the streets rioting and marching? What's the first thing I say?
What? What's that?
Go to the child support office.
Oh, yeah. Go burn it down.
Burn the child support office, not a police station.
And Robbie says exactly, those kids are his. We should be siding with Kim. Those are his kids, all of them. So you said we should or shouldn't be. And Facts Not Feelings, how you doing? It says peace and love, fam. And the Pioneer says, sis, you said within reason, and that's the objective term when you're dealing with Kanye West, because when it comes to him, reasoning isn't usually in the picture. Laugh out loud. Well, as someone said on here, and as someone else said, that he was there and he acted like he had some sense. He wasn't there turning up and acting stupid. He, was there, and it sounds like the kids were happy to see him. And so, I don't know. I guess part of me want to ask too, is Kanye getting a bad rap unfairly? I don't know. Y'all tell me. And Mr. Mystical, you say agree. And Sunlight says the bodyguards are there for a job. It's their business. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, they getting paid to do that. So they kind of in between a rock and a hard place.
It's not their business.
Well, it is if that's what they're getting paid to do. That's what they're getting paid to do, is to protect the kids and all of that. Now, is it unfair for her to tell them don't let their father near them? I mean, they kind of really that puts them in a spot they shouldn't be in, right? And a lady, you said, if I'm not mistaken, I heard Kanye was supposed to plan a party for the daughter after he picked her up at 4 p.m. so she could have 2 parties. Kanye lost the address. I heard that version too. I don't know how true it is, but I did hear that. And Robbie said exactly. And Gavelda says, what ends up happening is the child will despise a mother. That usually does happen.
You guys want to see the face of a father that despises the mother?
Don't get Donovan started. Do not get this man started. And Monet says, my husband and I have been separated for 2 years. He is able to visit since he doesn't work, but wants me to bring the kids to his state and seems to blame me for him not seeing the kids. Come on. I mean, yeah, different state is a whole different. Yeah. Who moved? If you don't mind me asking, who moved? And Thunder says, imagine the power you have when it's social wrong and taboo to question you or hold you accountable, and you can show your ass, hit, kick, split, or spit rather. I'm trying to read. And if a man stops you or hit you in the mouth, he's wrong, not your actions. Okay.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And Kanisha says, Travis and Tristan better take notes. So you're saying that they're the spouses or the fathers of the other sister's children, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And you know what? They're absolutely right, because if it happens to one, there's no way Travis and Tristan are going to leave this scenario unscathed. So I'm with you on that one, Kenitra.
And Donovan says, hi, I like my room background. How many rooms look like this? That's not up there anymore. And D says, well, thinking about it, I'm 50-50 on this topic. Okay. And Rayshawn, how you doing? He says, hello, Queen Demetria, brother Donovan in room. And Kubler says, if anyone ran on abolishing family court or child support, they will win the office with the largest men voter turnout in human history. I mean, that is a good point. I mean, maybe that would be his platform, because didn't he say at one point in time he was going to run in 2024?
But then again, though, whenever there's something that men like jump up, unfortunately, there's not enough men comparatively to women. So as we know, you've got men that get judge child support, even though they're not the father. And yet all these women are silent, knowing that some of these rules are unfair and unjust, and they sit in silence. So if a bunch of men jumped up and did that, I can almost guarantee just as many women would oppose it.
Pioneer says, as I've gotten older, I've learned to look at all sides of an issue. For the most part, a good father needs to be in their child's life, but some of these no good nickels need to stay away. Okay. And Mr. Mystical, he said, damn, madam. Okay, what happened? And CC says, I agree that there are many situations in which men are unfairly kept away, which is not right. If he would do some therapy or show some kind of serious changes, it would show good faith. Couldn't hurt. Okay. And Mr. Mystical says, truth be told. And Robin says, that's a big room, Donovan. It's a 2-bedroom. Oh, what happened? Let's see.
2 bedrooms made into one. No, that's just the meme I found. Demetra and I were doing the podcast yesterday, and she was showing her nice little spot and everything. So I went and got a background that we could all relate to. At least some of us can relate to.
I can't relate, okay? And Mr. Mystical says 100, and Sunlight says Kanye knew what he was getting into on principle. What he said is valid, but his personal issue. So you saying that's all on him. And thank you, Joel, for the donation. I really appreciate it. He says, come on, people, show our Israelite brothers and sisters some love. Shoot that loot out. Okay. Brother Samuel, how you doing? He says, greetings, Demetra K. and Donovan Sadiq. JJ, how you doing? He says, when James was removed from Good Times, those people were still poor. Yes, indeed. And David, how are you? Says, Yay out here punching people out. Wow, Yeezus, chill out, bruh.
Yeah. And to that comment about James being removed and they were still poor, and unfortunately there was a study that said that too. When the father is removed from the home, you remove the other half of a money-making potential family unit. But also remember in that show, James got removed just when he got that job going up to Alaska to work on the pipeline, which is a very lucrative job.
Gilvetta, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate that. He says, thanks for keeping us enlightened during these crazy times. Hashtag Black First, hashtag 2022 positivity only. That's what I'm talking about. And okay, that's a spam. Let me get rid of that one. Those are weird.
There's been a lot of those lately.
Yeah, I don't know what
these Russian bots or whatever they are.
Is that what that is? Pioneer says, Brother Donovan, man, you crazy. Charlie Brown, Pumpkin, laugh out loud. I thought Pete Davidson was dating Ariana Grande or one of those young pop singers. I guess he was at one point in time, and now he's with Kim. And Robin, you say we shouldn't be siding with Kim. I thought that's what you meant. We shouldn't be siding with Kim. I meant to say, yeah, I agree with you. And Sunlight says, are you kidding me? Laugh out loud. TikTok, he knows the whole family's history. He knows where he saw the mother of his kids. Now I don't feel sorry for him. Of course, you guys know Kim got her start with a very famous video of her and Ray J, and the rest has been billions and billions and billions of dollars in history thanks to Ray J, right? But I don't think he's wrong for not wanting his, because listen, I'm not on TikTok. I'm on TikTok, but I'm not active on there. I have the app, I should say, but people send me videos and it sounds like there's some pretty adult things on there, even though it's supposed to be, I guess, a app for kids. And I don't know if it's an app for kids that young. But yeah, I don't, if I had a child, my child would not have social media. I'm sorry, no forms of social media until it was an adult. So I'm not really mad at him for that. And Kenitra said he said he spent at least 5 hours a day with those kids while Kim left them with the nannies. So I think about for him, it's about his kids. Yeah, I mean, and I did hear that too. He spends a lot of time with his children. And Gavetta says, I think it should be a decision between both parents regarding how they are raised. Yes, indeed. And tonight says, Demetra, has anyone ever thought for a second what Kim has went through over their marriage? Amber Rose said he was verbally and physically abusive. This is another look at me. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Kim should not be disregarded, but as far as Kanye is saying, there's no legal documents or anything stopping him from seeing the kids. And so, I mean, I don't know, as long as he's not imposing on Kim, I don't see any reason for him not to see his children. You know what I mean? He's still their dad. And I don't want to say regardless of how crazy he is, because yeah, it should matter if somebody's truly like not there, but I mean, those are his kids.
But see, but legally, like you said, unless there's some papers or something like that, you could be in jail and you have a legal right to see your children. You could be a rapist in jail. You have a legal right to see your children. There is nothing. Yeah, I mean, you're in jail. You've been, let's say, whatever. You still have a right to see your children. That's there's almost, it's almost impossible not to see your children if you don't put in the effort to do the paperwork, whatever you got to do it.
And Mr. Mystical says, yep, the grandmother is definitely grooming her grandchildren to get a bag. Oh, for sure. I mean, her other worked out fine for all of her kids, right? And Rex says, using his money, public influence is what got him even remotely considered for president. He has no training, work experience on government, just like Twittiot wasn't. Oh, you talking about Trump? And we see how that turned out. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard that, though. Kanye's people that were like helping him run for president stuff, those were paid operatives by the Republican Party.
Yeah, I did hear that. And Sunlight says, to clarify, it's not the bodyguard's business to push back on who pays them. Exactly. I mean, they getting paid. I mean, they doing the job, you know. And Mr. Mystical, he says, elbow cough, elbow cough, elbow cough. What is that? And D says, I can't stand my baby mom. Do tell. And Pioneer says, it's all an individual basis for the most part. It's best to have a father in your life, but if he's a bad influence or a sorry ass man, the family is better off with that burden not around. I get it. And let's see. And Easy, how you doing? It says, hello, D, Donovan, and fam. And Monet says, my husband moved to Florida. He won't sign the divorce papers. I dislike him, but won't keep him from seeing the kids. Well, I mean, if he moved, the burden is on him to come see the kids. It ain't for you to be traveling back and forth. I mean, you know, no shade to your ex-husband or the father, but I mean, he needs to be a man and do what he needs to do and come see them. I mean, be different if you left with the kids, but you didn't. He left. So that he's going to have to figure out a way, right? And Thunder says, if a house is on fire and the wife is out there and she pours gas on it and burns it to the ground, when the husband shows up, asks, why didn't you stop this? She says, well, you weren't here, but she was. What the F? And Kubler, you say, if the Supreme Court believes civil rights are no longer needed due to social advancement in our society, why can't we use the same reasoning to rid female protections in the court of law? Spouses support. You asking some pretty good questions here. And Kenitra says, I don't spend 5 hours with my kids during the week between school and work. They come home, I cook dinner, help with homework, and get ready for bed. We spending time on the weekends. Okay. Well, you know, Kanye does have a lot of resources, but it sounds like he's busy too. So, I mean, 5 hours a day is pretty impressive. And Pioneer says, let's be clear, a lot of these children are accidents. Ooh, all humans have a purpose for being brought to the planet, but from an individual perspective, many are brought into the world carelessly.
Agreed. I mean, you know, I was conceived in marriage, but I don't think I was planned. I mean, I'm here, you know.
You are here. Angela, he says she knew he was crazy before. So, I mean, did she? If he's crazy, did she know? And D says, this should teach men a lesson. Smash and dash. Okay. I'm sure a lot of men planned on smashing and dashing. And then she got the cashing because he put some seeds up in her. And Donovan said, Cowboys are tanking. We need prayers. I guess the prayers aren't working. And Facts Not Feelings is banned child support, quote unquote, candidate. I will campaign in sleet, snow, hurricane, and tornadoes to get him elected. I mean, you know, because that's not just a black man issue. It's white, it's Asian, it's Hispanic. It's a whole lot of men out there is like, you know what? This child support is just really kicking my backside. So I don't know.
Yeah. And just think about these courts. Even though DNA can get you off of death row, it can't get you off child support because you didn't answer in a timely manner. So the court is basically telling us as men, even though you are not the father proven by DNA, and you paid all this money, you got a lawyer, whatever, it's in the child's best interest that you continue to pay while the perpetrator is still out there. You know?
Pioneer, you say this is a little aside, but back in the old days, once a white woman got with a black man, she didn't date anyone else. But now I've seen more and more who seem to go back to white dudes. Can you tell us why that is? I would not speculate, brother. I need your opinion on that. I'm not gonna fill in the blanks. And Donovan, easy. You say Donovan, them cowgirls not looking good, bro. And Walt, how are you? You say they fired James because he wanted more Michael and less JJ, so they blew him up dynamite. Yeah, and that's what they said too. Also, Esther Roll, Florida, she had an issue with JJ too, and they brought him to the forefront, and he was doing a lot of cooning. Let's just keep it real, right? And they didn't like that. So yeah, I heard that too is why they got rid of him. And D says even Kanye seen that video. And then Sunlight says the family believes in children having adult privilege at a young age. Everyone, including him, knew this. Yeah, because he even got into it with Kim behind her letting the oldest daughter wear makeup, and she was like, what, 5 or 6 or something? And he was like, I mean, why would you even need to tell your wife that about your child? You know?
Yeah, it makes you wonder if his mother was still alive today, would that be an issue with the mom? I'm sure it wouldn't, but you know what I'm saying? It would have the family dynamics of how to deal with the grandchildren.
Mm-hmm. And Thunder said they probably did that to try and provoke the man. And David, thank you so much for the donation. You say love the live stream. Well, we thank you so much for being here. And the Pioneer says, Queen, the hawk is flying high for you today. This is the way it should be every time you go live. Positivity needs to be positively reinforced. Well, I thank you for that comment. And Charles, thank you so much for the donation. And Jamarcus, what's going on with you? And Kanitra says the lady better get a lawyer and put an ad in the paper. Her that divorce boo. And D says she took my daughter to a whole other state. Yeah, that is not right. I mean, I never agreed with that. Mothers running and taking off, or whoever has custody of the children. I never agreed with that. I mean, my daughter's father and I, we didn't stay together. We were never married. We broke up when she was about 1 or so. And I had an opportunity to leave the state, but I was like, I'm not going to do that to him. As crappy as he is to me, he's still her father. And it would not be fair for me to take her, all the way across the country and then make it harder for him to see her. So I didn't do that to him. I don't think that's fair. You're on mute.
I think a lot of states and the federal registration, because the federal guidelines is universal, where the states kind of have individuals based on the federal guidelines. Now, and I put a lot of onus on the fathers. The same laws and child support rules that the women use against us is the same ones you can use against them. And in a lot of states, and I can speak here for California specifically, and I think it's in Florida and Mississippi. These are states that I know because I have friends that went through these problems. That woman can't take that child out of the state without the father's permission, depending on what state it is. So you got to look at the law.
If you have custody in order already, but if you don't have any papers, that whoever has the child can do that, and you have to serve that parent and all of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can use the laws to prevent that. There was an incident where I had a guy that had he had custody in Florida, and the mom took the child out, and they made her return the child back to the state.
Yeah, she should have. You can't take off of people's kids, especially if there's some legal, paperwork in the mix. And Angela says judges often put all the burden on the custodial to unite the kids with the other parent. Yeah, I think it should, be at least 50-50 with that, 50-50 effort. And Sunlight says, Donovan, don't start that ish. Laugh out loud. You chose her to be the mother of your kid. Uh-oh.
No, I didn't. She made me the father.
Kenitra, you say that lady better get a lawyer and have him put an ad in the Florida paper. Get that divorce, boo. Okay, got it. So that's what you meant. And a lady says, Donovan, you picked her for that 7 minutes, sir.
No, you know what? I actually think my situation was a what's his name? Drake situation, because the condom didn't break. I know that for a fact. Never had a problem. But this particular woman, I had a problem. How is it? I think she milked me when I was sleeping.
Shut up, fool. Pioneer says, my point about some of these children being accidents, quote unquote, wasn't a knock on the children, but to point out how unqualified the parents are. So we shouldn't expect too much responsibility for them. No, I got what you're saying. I think everybody got what you're saying. Basically, most of us, I was conceived within the marriage, but a lot of people who are here on the planet were not planned. I mean, so I don't think that's a bad thing that you said.
Yeah, and you got to remember, our parents' generation, they weren't passing out contraceptives and stuff like that like they do now, where you can just pick them up and go. I mean, that wasn't, you're married or whatever. Even if you weren't married, you just did what you did and you dealt with the consequences. And back then, isn't it funny? Our parents could walk away from their responsibilities, no repercussions. But we come of age, oh, you're on rears, you get all this. I mean, it's the hell to pay now. And isn't that funny how that works?
Yes, indeed. So I'm gonna catch up to these comments because I know I'm a little bit behind. And D says hashtag ban child support. And Charles says, do you know in some states if you're married to a woman and she has an affair and gets pregnant, the husband is liable for child support? Shaking my head. Yes, that is true.
Because legally it is assumed that the child is yours. You guys are married. Yeah.
Yeah, it was conceived in a marriage. And Brandon, how you doing? Long time no see. Says Kevin Samuels is trying to teach us that the Black family needs to stay together. Okay, is that what he's trying to teach? I have heard that's what he's trying to teach.
Yeah, that's his whole mantra. If you really listen to it, it's people staying together and being family, be a family unit.
Okay, and Sunlight says, why are they going back? Inquiring minds want to know. Laugh out loud. And Angela says the system doesn't want the burden of whoever they can find to pay child support.
Well, Angela, I'm gonna have to disagree with that real quick, for the simple fact that in the child support system, the government gets their cut. So they don't mind getting involved in screwing up a lot of families because they're going to get their little administrative fee that they apply to it. And it has been said since the Clinton years, since they did child support, estimated $16 billion has been collected in child support that normally would probably not have been collected. So there's some pros and there's some cons to it.
All right, and let's see here. Let me get to the rest of it. And one who cares says, "Your Donovan, if Yeezy mother was alive, he'd be better off." Yeah, I think so too. I mean, his mom was a big influence in his life. You guys know she passed early. She died of complications of surgery she was having. And Velvet Jackson, you changed your name. How you doing? You say, Todd, don't believe everything you read unless you were there. Uh-oh. And Jamarcus says chilling. And D says she can kick rocks, but leave my baby. And I was in jail. I think it made just something from not. I can't understand.
And D, you're not the only one. Even though your situation was incarceration, a lot of us in the military, we went through that being overseas and stuff like that because we can't get to court and stuff. And so what a lot of these modern women, or I don't know, these newfangled women, the younger women or whatever, what they're doing now is getting default judgments. You don't show up, the default judgment goes in, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sorry that happened to you, but hopefully you are seeing your child or you get to see your child. But if you're not, do whatever you can to get to see your child and take her to court and try to get some custody. So there's things you can do. You just don't think it's a hopeless situation. And tonight, yes, I did just check. Thank you so much as always for your donations. And Brother Samuels, thank you for your donation as well. Much appreciated. And Charles, you say what most people don't realize, as it depends on what judge you have been. I've been through this. Oftentimes, the judge you have will dictate what type of treatment you get. And I'm going to say something to that. And after I read this, and Pioneer says Kevin Samuels has a few good points, but makes them with too much toxicity. Plus, I've seen him interact with non-Black women and tend to treat them with much more respect. And Kenitra says if Donda was here, it would be none of this. And a lady says many women are afraid to death to put their baby daddy on child support for fear of losing their lives. Well, damn. Let me say this. So, Charles, you have a good point. And I tell you guys my story all the time. I was one of those women. Why are you laughing, Donovan? I was one of those women who was put on child support falsely, I would add. I was put on child support, okay? I'm going to slap you. So my daughter's father is I don't know if he's watching. If he's watching, how you doing, baby daddy? We get along very good now. But anyway, he would take me back and forth to court trying to get, full custody of our child because He ended up getting a new girlfriend, and whenever I would get served the court summons, it was in her handwriting. They wanted full custody, of my child, or I say our child, for absolutely no reason. So every time we go back to court, they're like, we're not changing the order we had. Shut up. 50-50. I had primary. He had, non-custodial, whatever. And so one particular time he took me to court, and he for whatever reason, he was never working. So other judges was like, okay, you guys just go about your business. So we got one judge who's a man judge. May he rot if he's not still here. It was a man judge, and he says, does his calculation. He says, okay, now you have to pay him this amount of money in child support. I'm like, wait a minute. Did you say I got to pay child support? For why? I'm taking care of her 100%. This nigga just told you he ain't had no job. So who taking care of her? So I had to pay him child support, but guess what? I never paid him because my dad said if he come try to collect child support, let me know. Okay, it'll be the last child support he collect.
If it wasn't for the FOI, he would have got away with it.
So I never paid him, and we ended up going back to court. And another judge who saw through his nonsense was like, "Nah, now you owe her child support. He never paid it to me. I never reinforced it." But the point that I'm making is, sometimes the judge does matter in what you get. But this judge was I don't know if he was a woman hater or what, but I'm like, he's telling you he ain't working. I'm telling you I'm working, and I'm taking care of our child, but I got to pay him.
Can I ask a question?
Depends. I'm just saying.
Okay, here it is. Here's my question. I'll make it real quick. You were the person working.
Yes.
And he wasn't working.
No. If he was going there, I ain't got a job.
Okay, he ain't got a job, right? So you think because of that, you should keep the child, right? Now, how many of us men go in there, we're working, she ain't got a job, but she can still have the kids.
Well,
do you see how convoluted everything gets? I can use the same.
But it really had to do with, so we had joint custody, but the judge's reasoning was, well, when she's with him, there needs to be some sort of, he needs to be able to take care of her. And since you're working and he's not, you have to contribute toward that. That was his reasoning.
Exactly. So, I agree with that judge wholeheartedly. So all you women that are sitting on your asses out there, start paying these men their child support because we ain't working.
Shit. And a lady, I want to take your comment. She says, many women are afraid to death to put their baby daddy on child support for fear of losing their lives. Now, that is horrible. Listen, fellas, if you made a child and, like some of y'all said, you just plan on smashing and dashing and that didn't work out, pay what you weigh. You don't be threatening that woman because, she's got to take care of the child. You can't expect to put a child on the planet and not take care of it. That is ludicrous to think that. Now, I get it if the woman is trying to soak you for all your riches. That's a different story. But if you know you put a child on the planet, pay something. Like, don't even make her have to put the white man on you. Just do it.
But then again, if they had that attitude, we wouldn't have Fatal Attraction.
Oh God.
Those are some great shows. And almost half of those shows, the woman lost her life because she got pregnant. It's so sad.
Yeah, I don't understand. Listen, if that can't be my situation now anyway, but if it was, just keep it pushing. Just put your hobo sack on and keep it pushing. Don't do nothing to me, okay? Just leave me wondering. Pioneer says, Brother Don, what do you keep leaning back, taking swings from? Is that a bottle of malt liquor? Oh, you in swigs from? Is that a bottle of malt liquor or something? The video backdrop doesn't let us see the label on the bottle. Yeah, what you drinking?
Yeah, that's that old E. I got to keep it real. The football game's on. Some St. Ides. How many of you guys remember St. Ides? Ice Cube used to rock that.
Yes.
No. Actually, it's just it's a protein shake that I got to drink, because of my condition and stuff. But getting it through. Protein
vodka, huh? And JJ, you say Kanye West was the same before and after his mom passed away. Kanye behavior was from his mother. Yeah, from what I understand, he was the same with his mom. She could say something to him, but it wasn't easy, from what I understand. And Adi says, in Georgia, if you don't sign the birth certificate, even if the child DNA father, you have no rights. Okay, and the Pioneer says, does Donovan know he looks in a hoodie and ball cap, leaning back, taking swigs of something in a big bottle. Laugh out loud. He say it's protein shake, but we don't know about that. And Angela said, Demetri K, your baby daddy sounds like dust. Yeah, he was very dusty for that.
But you chose him.
I did. I mean, hell, I was 20. Okay, I was 20. He looked good in the club, though. He could dance and all of that. He was turning flips, and I was like, "Oh, hey!" He looked like Big Daddy Kane and all of that. Now, be nice. Don't say be nice.
And at the time, he had a great job. He's in the Marine Corps and everything.
Yes. And Robin says, "So you had to pay him child support, but your daughter was living with you. That's crazy." Yeah, but I'm telling you, but when he got a new girlfriend who is now his wife, you know, I mean, he's her father. He's a grown man, but I believe she had a lot of influence in. I think she just wanted me completely out of the picture. Let's just get your daughter. Let's just get full custody of her. I'm like, somebody was going to jail and to hell if that was going to happen. Okay, who was going where? I don't know, but I know I wasn't going to jail. I mean, I wasn't going to hell, so I was probably going to jail. And Brother Samuel says that was history, Demetra. And Angela says she delivered and nurtured the baby that's out of the ash. And the Pioneer says, like Demetri said, it's oftentimes about the judge. It depends less on the laws themselves and more how the judge feels about the matter, which is not how justice should be administered, in my opinion. I agree, because I'm telling you, that happened to me. And Thunder says the baby, the black woman and black men are threats to black women and the children, but it's a problem when the black man gets with Becky. Black women have a problem with it. What the hell? I personally don't have a problem with any of it because I can only control the relationship that I'm in. You know, I can't control what everybody else is doing. So I mean, to me, to each his own. I personally don't have the energy to get mad at what somebody else is doing and who they're doing. But I get what you're saying. And Robin says, but her daughter was living with Demetra. She should not be paying him child support so that he can turn around and pay it back to her. That's crazy. Yeah, as the judge said, he goes, and then he says, my daughter's father says, well, I'm trying my best. And I said, but he always comes here and says he doesn't have a job. And the judge says, well, he's trying his best. What do you expect? I was like, what's going on here?
You know, and you know what? I am very happy to know at least one of y'all face justice and how we feel. How did it feel sitting there? How did it feel sitting there helpless to the system?
I called my daddy after I called my mom and said, Daddy, this is what they did to me. He says, you let me know if he collect one red cent. I'll make sure it'll be the last one he collect.
Yeah. And you guys, I want you guys to know us about Demetra's history with things like that. Being the daughter in the family, you know, and the oldest daughter in her family. Whenever she had a problem, if it wasn't daddy coming down to handle some business, it was mama. Meeting old man at the door saying, this is what's going to happen.
I never paid him to say that, okay? And somebody says, so is Kim a black woman or a Becky? Oh, she's a Becky. She's a white woman. She tries to look like a black woman from time to time, but she's definitely a Becky. Yes.
Yeah. No, see, they're black when it's convenient to be black, and then, you know, when the shit gets bad, then they go get with the white guy, and then they turn all back into.
Oh yeah, it should be pasty white again, I'm sure. And D say she's a Becky. Yes, indeed. And Charles says, well, where are the women who are scared to put these men on child support? Wait, let me read that over. It says, where are these women? Where are these women who are scared to put these men on child support? Where? The courts are full of women seeking child support, even when the father is taking care of the kid. I mean, he do got a good point. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I haven't heard of anybody being scared for their life to do it. I've heard of a lot of people going to the child support system. So you do raise a good point.
You know, and don't get me wrong, for women, hey, I would do it too. There's nothing to be afraid of, because guess what? You have unlimited resources of the state backing you up, even though the state says, well, we don't represent her. Well, who the hell you representing then? Because there ain't nobody on my side over here.
Gilberto says she's a Becky to me, and the Pioneer says, without our sister Moni in the house, you're sweeping through these comments pretty quickly. Laugh out loud. I'm sure she'll be back. And Kenitra says, my daughter's father has a marijuana business in Colorado. He hasn't paid a lick of child support in years, but he's upset with the 15-year-old because she refers to my husband as her father. Dude, she hears from you twice a year. He is her damn daddy and has been for 11 years. And there you go. I mean, he's the daddy in the house. He's the daddy who's around, who's the daddy who cares, who's taking time with her. I mean, just like y'all say, just because you're the mama, you had her, the kids don't make you a mama. Well, just because you had the child, that also don't make you a father. So, I mean,
right. And then, you know, I have a nephew, him and his mom, dad didn't work out, but he has a stepdad. And I always tell him, you got two dads, you got, you know, two grandmothers, whatever, three grandmothers, whatever. Of course, that's common sense. Any man that gets upset because there's another father or a father figure in the home, that's, to me, it's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you ain't there, you know? And the Pioneer says, what, sis? You said he looked like Big Daddy Kane on the dance floor. What he was he doing? The Cabbage Patch with all kinds of rope chains slinging from his neck? Laugh out loud. I'm telling you, my daughter's father, when he was younger, was the spitting image of Big Daddy Kane. And when I tell you this Negro can dance, him and his buddy will come to the club and they had a little routine and stuff on the floor, and he'd be doing backflips. And I was like, oh, who's that? And the rest is history. That's all
Demetra is a unofficial Marine Corps veteran. At the club out there, they got her plaque with her face for supporting the troops.
Not quite, but he was in the Marines as well. And Sunlight says the one she just read. And a lady says Becky can have you guys. Oh. And Charles says, I was doing everything, and the judge actually set up in court and told the mother of my child, don't worry, we will work this out for you. Damn. Donovan is right. Men do not get fair and equal treatment. I would agree with that. Even though as a woman, I went through the same thing you guys went through as men, I agree with that. I think men do have it harder than women in the courts, family courts. I would agree with you on that. And Sunlight says, well, it seems among us, they're Becky when things are good, then when it's bad, they're black. And Kubler says, is it fair to judge the parenting skills of the wealthy elite with the working class man's eye when the elite kids will be forever protected by the parents' power and resources? I mean, it's a good question. They tend to have a little bit more favor, I would guess. In course, I would tell you this. I've heard of everyday men, in some cases, paying more a month in child support than wealthy, like celebrities and stuff like that, have to pay. So I think you do raise a good point. And Donovan says he's one of them. He was paying the king's ransom in child support.
$1,600 a month. $1,600 for one child. And I had two of them. The other one, $1,200 a month. Whew. Don't have any children in California. Don't do it.
That's why your ass was on the stroll.
I ate a bunch of top ramen and tuna casseroles for years.
And the lady says, those same men that Kay and their pregnant girlfriends will take them out if they bring that baby to term. I get. So they would kill them, is what you're saying. The pregnant girlfriends, and will take them out if they bring the baby to term. Yeah, we've heard of many cases where men did do away with the mama and the baby because they just didn't want the baby, and the mama wasn't willing to abort the baby.
Yeah, and a lady, they also do that in the animal kingdom. Look up leopards and lions and stuff. That's exactly what the male lion does. He kills the previous guy's cubs so he can bring the woman into maturity so she can have his cubs.
And Brother Samuel says, I was on child support and legally married for at least 10 years and still paid for all I used to pay while in the house as well. Wow. And D says, oh, in Georgia, if you don't sign the birth certificate, even if you are the father and DNA says so, you have no right. Wow. The laws do need to change. I'm not going to lie. And the Pioneer says, the thing I've noticed in society in general about these baby daddies is this. About 10% of the men are making 90% of the children, both legitimately and illegitimately.
Yeah. I think Kevin Samuel said that as well. It's like, but his number was 20% of the men are making 80% of the children.
That's pretty crazy. And Robin says Demetra was on the base more than the soldiers. Just about. I think I should be getting some benefits too. I need some what does he call that you're getting?
What, our pension?
Yeah, I need a pension too.
Well, actually though, Robin, Demetra used to come with her pack of girls. They all came together, in case something went down, and there was a bunch of them. You bring them up there.
You know what? I say this all the time. Going to the bases, my God, that was such a good time. Woo, that was a good time. I don't understand why these young ladies don't go to the bases anymore. Like, can you still get sponsored on and go to the parties? And man, that was a good time right there. Now, we were ladies, of course, but we would go on the base. You know, if you brought your girl, she was gonna find her little boyfriend or something. These girls don't do that no more.
Yeah, and if you think about it, remember, especially the all-nighters, you go there, you have a good time, right? Now you're on the base, so you don't have to worry about nobody shooting the club up and fights breaking. There was a few fights, but being military guys, we knew, when to take it and when not to take it. But, and then if you guys do have a romantic night and something does happen, you got a guy, where he works, he's making good income. And he's got benefits.
So benefits. I'm just
right. No, you got benefits for the child just in case something goes on if you guys don't make it as a couple. But yeah, these young kids, they don't do that anymore. And if you go to the base right now, the clubs are almost dead. I mean, they're not almost, they're dead.
It was so fun. I'm not gonna lie. Going back down memory lane. And Charles says, I remember one of the many times in court I saw my coworker. She was all upset, telling me the father took her to court for child support. A sense of joy came over me. one for the fellas.
We don't get many victories, but when we do.
And Thunder says the deck is stacked against the men, so a lot of men are opting out and avoiding dating women and having relationships altogether. And he says MGTW TOW, red pill. Okay, and what does that stand for? I forget. But yeah, I've heard that. I mean, but I just think, as our brother Jonell often says when he's on there, you got to settle down to a good choice. And a lot of people really aren't doing that. Now, I know some people flip the script once you're together and all of that, things change. But a lot of times we really don't ask enough questions before we get in the bed with people. We got to kind of do a little bit more work. And D say at home. And Robin says, wow, $1,600 a month. Yeah. Donovan
I was paying more than some professional athletes that were ordered to pay. And these guys were multimillionaires.
And the Pioneer says, I met so many women who are in relationships with men who have 7 and 9 children by different women already and act like they are shocked when they turn up pregnant and abandon seed. Pioneer, I don't understand that. Listen, I can understand if you maybe were the second and even the third baby mama, but the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th? Huh?
Hey, I'm gonna change him. Those other girls fail. I could do it. He's my project. I'm the one for him. So I'm gonna straighten him out.
Oh, y'all didn't know what y'all were doing. Y'all didn't know how to treat him. You don't know what he needed. Okay, and then like you said, when they turn up pregnant and man, oh, how could he do this to me? I just said, nah, sis, because the other 15 baby mamas tried to tell you, but you thought you had the magic, Kit Kat that was dropping out Oscars and Grammys and stuff. I don't know. And Jamarcus says, what do you do for a living? $1,600 a month. Well, Donovan was in the military, and he also had a whole bunch of other side jobs to supplement that. And do you want to expound upon that? He said, what did you do for a living to pay that?
Oh, I was in the military.
Yeah, and Donovan is a major, so that Donovan is high up there.
no, that's mid-grade, but officers do make more money. And so basically every time I got a promotion, I didn't get a promotion. They got a promotion.
And A lady says super spreaders. Sunlight says that stat is a lie. So she's saying the stat from Kevin Samuels
Kevin
and the one that
Samuels.
and I think Pioneer gave is a lie. And Robin says that's funny. And Pioneer says, see, I didn't even know Kevin Samuels said that, but I agree with him that a majority of men are obviously seen as very attractive, and women keep letting them slide over and over again, no matter what they do.
Yeah, minority of men.
Minority men. And then D says in child support court, us men get hit from the back. And a
No
lady
Vaseline.
and the lady said that's true. Kevin Samuels is advocating for man on man love, no babies. I saw a video. I heard him say that, so I don't know what that's about, but I did hear it with my own ears. He says, I don't blame men for wanting to be with other men or something like that. I don't know. And Thunder says, I stand by my position. It's impossible to get her pregnant because the pH level is in her stomach. It's not conducive for a viable pregnancy. Okay, so so is that why you're saying you're with older women? I mean, what's really going on here? I don't understand. And Sunlight says most professional athletes are paying a lot more than $1,600. That would be a blessing to them. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, most of them are, but when you think in relation to how much they make and to how much they're paying, like I think Chris Brown was only ordered to pay like $2,500 or something like that to his daughter's mom, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if he had to do more, but from what I understand, it was like $2,500 a month. And Cooler says, I just learned that child support incurs interest. Oh, yeah. If you ain't paying, oh, yeah, the interest does rack up. And a lot of people who are in arrears, a lot of it is due to the interest. The interest is not cheap. And JJ says, I am poor too. He says, I am too poor to have kids. I'm waiting for a strong income. Well, at least you know that you're not financially ready to have children. And that's smart. A lot of people don't take that insight, though. They're like, oh, I'm just going to get out there and willy-nilly just do it and then have a kid and then be mad because they can't afford it. But it's like they should do what you're doing. Think about it. Okay, I'm not in a position financially to bring children into the world, so I'm going to wait until I can do that. That's what smart people do. And Robin says, I heard Kevin Samuels say that too. I knew he was batting for the other team. The Pioneer says, I'm not sure how accurate that stat is, but I do know that a minority of very attractive men are out there making most of the babies. So I guess what you're saying, Pioneer, is that women go for a certain type of man, I guess the man with the swag and who's attractive and the attractive Ray Ray or Pookie, I guess. And that's who they're choosing to have all the children with and not settling down to a good choice. Is that what you're saying? And D says, hit it and quit, smash it and dash. I mean, but then what happens when you end up getting her pregnant because you was thinking you was going to be smashing and dashing? Why not just abstain and not have sex with somebody you don't see? I'm going to tell you, I say this all the time. I'm not saying that it's right for somebody to soak you for your child support riches. I'm not saying that's right. But in your scenario, D, hit it and quit it, smash and dash, that doesn't sound like you're with a woman that you care about or you even want to be with. So I'm just asking, why even have sex with a woman like that anyway? Because there's no such thing as 100% child, what do you call the child
protection?
Child protection, unless you just don't do it. So why would you risk it? Why would you risk that? Putting your thing in somebody you potentially don't want to be tied to for the next 18 to 20 something years, because now the court can mandate that you pay for college.
Right. Now, I want to say this, though. In the Drake case recently that came up, the girl that was involved in that is going to sue Drake in regards to, being physically hurt from the hot sauce as she put into herself and whatever. I think that's going to be great case law. I think the case is going to be thrown out because she self-inflicted that. She had no business going in the trash and get that. Because here's the thing, and Sunlight and all the other ladies, to just think about this for a second. Just think about this. If The case gets thrown out and she has no standing. Do you know how many men will say, yeah, that's what happened to me. She went into the trash and got my condom without my permission.
Well, they're also saying that is not true. Drake has neither confirmed or denied that's actually true. So I don't know if it's true or not, but it's bizarre to say the least, right? And Donovan, you're saying your little Cowboys, there's 23-17 Cowboys just scored in 1 minute and 35 seconds in the fourth quarter. So who's winning?
The Cowboys just scored, so they're behind. Cowboys are always from behind. Always from behind.
You saying pray. Okay, so it says, sis, exactly. You nailed it. Okay, so that's what you were saying. A lady says, I agree with KS. If you're leaning toward gay, please go all the way and leave us straight women alone. I second that. And Moni, welcome back. It says, hello, my gorgeous people. I'm back online. You say, I had to step away for a little while. Hope I'm not too late. 7:18 in the evening, Donovan. Donovan. I wish you could come to Michigan. Keep me warm with cocoa. Oh, I wish you could too. You know what? I'm gonna see what I could do to make it happen.
Yeah, I just came back from yesterday. I went to Bed Bath and Body Works. Got me some nice peppermint, because I guess the Christmas sale is going on, and I just happened to be in there, and I was like 75% off. Got me some nice lotion. Got me some nice,
What did you get for Moni?
Some nice eucalyptus body wash.
Okay. Sunlight says it's not just Ray and Pookie. That's a false narrative. There are a significant amount of them who don't classify as dusty. The false narrative is a cop-out, and I totally agree with you. It's not just Ray and Pookie out there, having kids all over the place. There's a lot of what you call high-valued men doing it too, and not wanting to, have the responsibility of making children. It's a fact.
Donald Trump is a serial father maker, and what he does is he blackmails the females, or he pays them off to have abortions.
Well, damn. And
allegedly.
And Cooler says, I live next to Fort Campbell Army Base, and I've scolded my female friends for dating the men that work at AutoZone when there's a military base full of dating potential. I ain't mad at Demetria. I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, I don't understand why the girls don't go, at least say hi, how you doing, or whatever. But that's what we did back in my day, okay?
He don't have twists in his hair at 34 years old. He don't look like Julio at 40 years old. That guy's too square. He's got a high and tight, got a nice uniform on.
Robert says, why not? If you don't want to have a child with a particular woman, stop going in raw.
Right. I agree.
Moni says, the pioneer. So he's saying hi to pioneer. Ray Sean says, ain't that a crime? What's that? Smash and dash? Is that what you're saying?
But why isn't people saying, okay, like in the alleged situation with Drake, by her doing what she did, I'm just saying a hypothetical. I don't know if it's true or not. Would that be a crime that she appropriated stuff that you know what I mean? And okay, and let's say it was successful and she made him a father. Is he liable?
Is that a crime though? Is it a crime to go into that's disgusting. To go into a condom and use the
but what I'm saying is, okay, he did the right thing. He protected himself. He protected both of them. He throws the condom out. She does it, puts the contents in. She gets pregnant, has a baby. Is he liable?
Okay, can I ask you a question though?
Sure.
So let's say that he and whoever she was, they had sex and he put the stuff in the condom and all of that. But let's say she goes in there and she does insert stuff and she comes up pregnant. So she goes, hey, Drake, I just want you to know I'm pregnant. And he's like, how? I had a condom on. No, you didn't. It must have bust. So you go to court with that story, and is the judge going to believe, well, I threw the condom away and she went in there and got in there and used it, or he most likely going to believe that the condom broke in? Because it does say condoms are what, like 99%?
Yeah, it's like 97. It's not even 97 something. But I'm just saying, no. But what I'm saying, outside of that, though, let's say all has been said, because it's on social media. That's what happened. She appropriated the sperm in a way that, it's like me biting an apple and throwing it away. You know what I
But
mean?
can I ask a question to
Yeah.
y'all fellas? Maybe y'all can help me out, okay? Because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, okay? Not the roundest afro out there. If you got to do all of that to the condom, why are you even having sex with somebody like that? Just think about it. Let it marinate. Let me get to these comments.
And real quick, but my mom always told me, if I'm going to be doing that kind of stuff and I'm done with the condom, don't throw it in the trash can. Flush it down the toilet.
Yeah, okay. And Marnie says, Demetri, you got to bring back that gorgeous raspberry lipstick you've been going without. Please kindly put the back. The lipstick is your trademark and it's beautiful and fun. One day, I've gotten used to not wearing it, but one day I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to surprise you. And a lady, thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate that. He says some men want to get the right woman or women pregnant for potential 3 hots in a cot insurance.
Damn. I got to agree with you on that one.
Well, damn. And Gilberto says, Donovan, you mean to tell me she didn't see red in the plastic? Yeah, because he supposedly put hot sauce up in the condom. That is the. And D says, nah, bro, another man can't do anything for me but, but play PS4. So you saying you ain't with that Kevin Samuel stuff. And let's see here. And D says, just pay the money because that's all she wants. And the Pioneer says, I'm not the one who said only Ray Ray and Pookie is out there making babies all over the place, nor did I say all these babies making machines were irresponsible. Some of them are decent, others not. Okay. And Marnie says, okay, so he talked to the Pioneer. And AJ, how you doing? He says, hey, Demetri and Donovan. And Kubler says, Devin says, I didn't think military officers fell for the small town barrack girls too.
Well, here's my thing. I was enlisted before I became an officer. So the baby happened when I was enlisted. And then when I crossed over, that was the big problem. But again, when you're a black man in the military, there's not a lot of single black female officers. So even if you were in that scenario, you'd have to hunt where the bounty is plentiful.
Okay, I saw Thunder. You said I missed something about below Donovan's pray. Do you see it, Donovan?
Which one? It's a crime in California to steal sperm?
No, because Thunder said I missed a comment about.
Oh, you missed my comment below. Donovan's pray. It explains about the pH level comment. Let me see.
If you find it, can you read it for me while I get these comments? Sorry about that if I missed that. Okay, so let's see here. And the lady says it's a crime in California to steal sperm as of 2021. Okay, well, I didn't know that. But yeah, I mean, you would think that it would be, but don't throw it in the trash. Just flush it down the toilet or whatever you need to do to it.
Right, update. It's not there. So I don't know if you put something in there where they deleted it or something. It's not there.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't see it. Yeah. And Sunlight says, first of all, the DNA is dead at that point. Come on now. Right. So we might need some scientific data because that just sounds kind of weird. And I mean, to me, if you would go to, why would you put hot sauce in the opposed to just flushing it down the toilet? You know what I mean? None of that makes any sense. And then Kubler says, I said, no, so you meant Donovan. Okay, I should have caught that because I was like, who is Devin? And the Pioneer says, from my observation, these baby making machines run the gamut for professionals to those in clergy to violent criminals in prison. My point is some men, a minority, are just very attractive. Okay, got it. I got what you're saying. And D says, it's a crime. Happy birthday, Sade. Yes, indeed, it is Sade's birthday. And the Pioneer says, you're right, Donovan. Condoms should be flushed down the toilet anyway. You don't want that smelling up the bathroom after a few days anyway. Ugh. And Marty says, I knew that Donovan was going to keep up with the football aspect of it. What's your favorite team, Donovan? And do you bet money on it? If you're going to do it professionally, get paid.
No, I don't. I'm on a fixed income, so I do not bet on games like that. And I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. Diehard.
Yes, and if Moni, maybe your prayers can help them. He's soliciting prayers. And Brother Samuel says, Donovan, this reminds me of Rudy Ray Joke of a woman trying to get pregnant and ask the man what we going to name the baby. He jumps up and pulls off a condom and says if he gets out that we're going to call him Superman. AJ says, I'm doing good, and we are doing well. No complaints. And Pioneer says, I was reading an article about Sade a couple of days ago. I didn't realize she was as old as she is. She's in her 60s and still looks good. Also, I found out she's half Nigerian. Yes, she looks damn good to be in her 60s. I wonder if she's vegan or not. She's doing something right. And Charles says, I'm not throwing shade, Donovan, but I heard military men are the worst. My female friends tell me they're the worst cheaters and sometimes have two families. Ooh, Lord.
Yeah. I'm not, I can't stereotype that, but yeah, we have a saying in the military, what goes TDY stays TDY. Basically what goes abroad stays abroad. And I don't know if you guys remember when Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines closed, and that was an Air Force base. We had literal senior enlisted people and officers that had wholesale families in these third world countries like that the families here didn't even know about. So when we closed bases in Panama, same situation. When we closed bases in Germany, same situation. So yeah, that's democracy. That's when we talk about spreading democracy. That's what we're doing.
Oh God, are they worse than truck drivers? And Robin says Thunder's comment is still there. He said it's impossible to get a woman pregnant because of the pH in the stomach. Okay, I did read that one.
Yeah, you already read that one.
I read that one. Mm-hmm. Okay, so do tell, because I think I was confused about that.
No, because he said that. I'm sorry, they said that he explained what that was, and that comment isn't in there.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that one. And Mona says, I don't think I want eucalyptus, and that reminds me of medicine. Medicine if you got a cold, but I will take the hot chocolate body wash and let you just glaze it all over my glowing my glowing golden red skin. Okay. All right now.
I'm on the next plane smoking.
And Pioneer says, as I've gotten older and observed in society, it doesn't matter if the man is financially successful or broke. As a joke, if he's one of those very attractive minority of dudes, he's gonna pull women. You know what? I'm gonna keep it real with you. The Pioneer is right. I mean, we've seen where there's some really good-looking men, and that's all they have is looks. And they got every woman. Okay, listen, I ain't trying to talk about my boyfriend, okay? I ain't trying to talk about my boyfriend. But Elder Barge. Elder Barge is fine. And he got like 12 kids. Now, of course, he's Elder Barge. At some point in time in his life, he had a little bit of issues with, with the nose candy and all of that. But somehow, women found him attractive. Now, I find him attractive, but I don't think I would have continued to help him procreate now. Now I'd have to, draw the line at that. But so I get where you're going with that. And Moni says, now I do like cherries, banana, strawberry, champagne. If I dealt with Bath and Body Works, peppermint, and chocolate, Donovan, I'll bring the fifth. You just come on in Michigan and get a new northern feel. Well, all right.
That sounds pretty good. That sounds really good, and it's cold. Tell Deanna to call me after the show.
You gonna make Donovan hop on the next flight out of here? All right. Okay. The Pioneer says, I'm sure when you were in the military, you met many men who were making the same amount of money and looked relatively decent, but were alone and had little success with women.
Well, actually, no, because I was in the aviation field. And of course, because of the movies like Top Gun and all that, and being pilots, and we're in a flight suit, we are like an elite status type guys. And in aviation, flying airplanes, you need, it's part of the training. You got to have confidence to fly an airplane. So have you ever ran across a pilot and he was like, oh, there's a thunderstorm coming up. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not sure if I could take that flight. No, we're taught to be confident and self-grandizing. So I never really ran into guys that weren't confident, even if they weren't plain looking. That flight suit on and you got those wings showing, you're a target. The women were just coming at us. So, that's my experience.
And Gilberta, you say, at Demetra, no, that's really disturbing. And what does that does make sense as somewhat doesn't make sense as somebody going in a personal garbage can to retrieve plastic to shoot in their kitty cat to entrap a person. What kind of nonsense? I mean, I just can't even fathom that.
But that's what these modern girls are doing now. It's about getting the bag at any result. They're going to bring a life in the world so that they can get a check. That's the whole goal. And they think there's nothing wrong with it.
Got it. And AJ, you say that's great. I just sent you a Venmo. Oh, thank you so much. I have to check that. I appreciate that. You say I appreciate you and Donovan for awesome content. Well, we appreciate you as well. And D says, I'm taking the rubber with me. I mean, I'm just saying if that's what you got to do, right? Pioneer says, honestly, sis, I'm not sure how much looks have to do with it. Either looks like money helps attract women initially, but there is something else about these dudes that seem to pull these women in. It's swag, it's personality, it's hey baby.
Well, it's just like in the animal kingdom, the female always wants to mate with the alpha male. So you got these guys out here who want to look dangerous and like they're alpha males. As we know, Pioneer, these aren't really men, but they put all the gold and the jewelry on to be something they actually aren't. And women are attracted to that dangerous bad boy image, and that's just something that they're attracted to because subconsciously in females, even in the animal kingdom, the mind is for the perpetration of the species, they want to mate with the strongest males.
Got it. And Easy says, this is the new love connection. Donovan, take your ass to Michigan. I'm just saying, what you waiting on, bruh? And Al, how you doing? He said, tell Donovan about my mom's friend earning his wings. So a friend of his mother's passed away. And she kept saying, he earned his wings. He earned his wings. And Al told her, no, he didn't because he was already a buzzer. And she's mad at him once again. And a lady says, I hate that red pill term, modern women. These modern men are taking care of their kids. I don't even know what the red term, I hear it, but I'm not really for sure what that even means. I'm out of the loop a lot.
And Matrix, AJ, red pill, blue pill.
Got it. And AJ says, oh, you're welcome. Sunlight says, no women are attracted to charisma. It helps.
That was Demetra's baby daddy.
He had some good dance moves, and he looked like Big Daddy Kane. I mean, you guys seen Big Daddy Kane. And Money says, I do not feel that this man is liable if he wore a condom and then she goes to impregnate. I mean, these people done took it too far. For you to would make somebody grow to hate you and hate the child where pays, as you said. But yeah, I agree with you. That would seem like it would create a lot of resentment for the mother and the child. Like, I did all I was supposed to do. I protected myself and I threw it away. And then you went in there and then got it and put it. What does she have, a turkey baster in the bathroom too? I mean, come on.
No, what they allege is that she took it and basically pinned it inside out as she stuck it inside. So the contents are on the inside and she pushed it out. You know what I mean? If it's inside the bottom, you just push it up and the contents, and that's why she started getting allegedly burned.
That sounds like an urban legend, like a mug, okay? And Sunlight says, stop the hating. You either have it or you do, or you don't. Pioneer says, I thought it was just the opposite, that most women are attracted to charisma more than money or good looks. Charisma helps. I think charisma helps. Charisma is attractive, but is it the only thing? Maybe for some, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to answer that because, like somebody like Jay-Z, does he have charisma? I mean, how did he get Beyonce? He got Beyonce before he was super rich. I mean, I'm sure he had more money than she did at the time, but I doubt if he didn't have the money, he don't have good looks, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But if he didn't have the money, would he have gotten her on charisma alone? I don't know. You make a good point, Sunlight. And let's see here. I mean, that was the Pioneer, actually. And then Ray Sean says, Big Daddy Kane. I'm just saying. And Pioneer says, charisma does more than help. Charisma is the number one factor in attractive. Most women, in my opinion, for men, looks are the number one factor. Okay. And Kubler says, Donovan, have you had the opportunity as a part of the Chocolate Bridge to be stationed overseas, Germany?
Well, no, I was stationed most of my career stateside because I was a pilot and I flew cargo, big aircrafts. I moved a lot of cargo and I would be overseas a lot in temporary duty. So the only overseas assignment I officially had, other than being deployed to Diego Garcia for a year, was I was in Alaska for 4 years, and that's considered overseas.
Got it. And let's see here. And the Pioneer says, I'm tending to agree that either you have charisma or you don't. However, I don't believe you have to be born with it. I think you can learn it. I think you can learn it as well. I think charisma is learned too. And a lady says charisma is swag and opposite of lame. Yes. And Donovan says less than 2 minutes. Dallas is still behind. They have to score right now or it's over. Pray. And Charles says, Dimitri, El DeBarge. If Elder Barge told you he want to do the heaviest baby, we know what would have happened. So basically, if he wanted to be with me, that I would have said yes.
Oh, look, she's gone. The show's over. She's moving to Detroit. It's over. That's it. 7 baby mamas. Dimitri don't care.
they grown now. Okay, he ain't got no little kids. You guys want to really know what's weird? Like I have this mad crush on El DeBarge, but I've never thought about being. I've never been sexually attracted to him. I think I haven't. I've never fantasized about him in that way at all. I just got this mad crush.
It's just the singing, huh? Just the singing.
Yeah, I never thought about him in that way. Now that I really think about it, believe it or not, for real. And let's see here. The comments jumped up. And Pioneer says, I think Jay-Z does have a measure of charisma. Oh, yeah, he does. But what if he just had that?
How many of you guys know Jay-Z started his career as a hype man for an artist known as The Jazz? How many of you guys remember that song, Hawaiian Sophie?
Mm-hmm. I remember. And D says, children are money. Yeah, it costs money to raise kids. That's why you have to think about it, right? And Kubler says, these women aim for marriage and a green card, but will at least maintain the relationship versus the American woman get in and get out tactic.
Yes. And Kubler, they're saying a trend that's going on now. You see it in the Atlanta Housewives and stuff. You're seeing these African men now impregnating these American women to get the green cards to get over here and do the opposite. So it's kind of switching the trends.
Y'all believe all of that, huh? And Charles says, do we have a sunburned Becky in the chat? What's up with this with the red skin, or was that something over my head?
He's talking about when Moni made her comment in regards to.
Thunder says, find a woman in the mountains not wearing shoes, plowing a field with a mule. And she's never seen $100 bill. Wife her quick and keep the toxic women away. You need to stop it.
Yeah. Wait, didn't Eddie Murphy say that in the early 80s when he did the stand-up Raw? That he looked at an African chick, whatever, and then he ended up getting the exact opposite.
Yes. Pioneer says, I've also noticed when it comes to the most women, they are desiring two different things: a good man who can protect them and provide for them, and a hot man who can please them in bed. Well, why can't she have all of that? Is that too much to ask? And Al says the Cowboys are losing. And
yes, the 49ers just got a first down with 1 minute and 3 seconds. First down. So it looks like it's over for the Cowboys.
And JJ says Flavor Flav surprised me when I saw his children on reality TV. I didn't know what type of concoction besides money. So you're saying what surprised that he was able to have some children or somebody would sleep with him? What was surprising about that? The partner says, see, that's what I mean. Says women can separate who they think is cute from who they think is sexual and want to sleep with. Yeah. I mean, I think that's true. I can think that somebody is cute and not want to sleep with them all day long. I see good looking men all day long, but I never think, oh, what would he do? Never. For me anyway, I see a man and I say he's handsome or he's nice looking, but it doesn't cross my mind that I'm going to hit him over the head and take him home. All right, let's see here. And the Pioneer also say, I think if Jay-Z just has charisma, he'd have quite a bit of women desire him anyway, despite his looks. Not as many as now, but still a lot. Okay.
Hey, Jay-Z hit Superhead. He hit that a couple times.
He still has some money though. And D says, I'm in West Point, and $100 you can hit any chick out here. Damn.
6th Street, G Street, San Bernardino, $30.
How you know?
It was on KTLA News. It was. These girls, these young girls are out here tricking because, okay, let's not even say tricking. The sex work is happening out here, and they are basically saying, the police departments and people are saying they're not going to penalize the sex workers. They're still going to get the Johns and stuff. But because of lack of workout, because of the COVID, some of these women are, out here doing what they got to do.
You support that?
Do I support it? No, not physically. No, I support it in spirit.
Okay. And Sunlight says that's a big misconception, Demetria, and it needs to be corrected. Whose fault is it that the bad boys had the charisma? The square guys could have had it, but most just didn't. Okay. And the Pioneer says, I used to think that it's all about confidence, but I'm not sure how big of a role confidence plays with no charisma. A confident man without charisma often comes across as a fool. Is confidence and charisma different? Am I reading that wrong? Or are they the same? Or is charisma more like a...
I think they're different. Yeah, charisma is like Obama had charisma. Obama had charisma.
Could you have charisma if you weren't confident?
Good question.
And a lady says, mail order brides are getting over here and divorcing a new American spouse and upgrading. And the Sunlight says, stop shaming women for not being attracted to the runny nose guys wearing high waters in high school.
Yeah, but guess what? Those runny nose guys in high school are the ones now working at Fortune 500 companies and all that other stuff. You're gonna see that meme where the girl's talking about she can never get a good man because she got the kids and she's...
Yeah, but I'm with Sunlight on that one. I mean, I wasn't attracted to you in high school when you was looking like that, but now that you a grown man and you look good and you got something going on, of course, now I'm looking. Don't, like she said, don't be mad.
There's a song by WC and the Mad Circle. It's called Something. Go listen to that song.
And Charles says, what would be the difference between what female did with Drake and a married woman or a girlfriend who starts taking the pill and doesn't tell her mate? I mean, the difference is Drake did what he thought he was, if that was true, which I don't think it is. He did what he thought he was supposed to do to protect himself, and it was done behind his back. Now, even though somebody tells you they're on the pill, that's them saying that they're protecting themselves, but how would you know? So are you going to trust them, or are you going to take your own precautions as well? I think that's the difference. Pioneer says, go to the hood and you'll see a lot of confident brothers standing around trying to flirt and talk trash to women who ignore them or cuss them out. But the quiet, charismatic brother is getting it in. Okay. And Thunder says, if she can have it all, we want to have it all, like someone in a slip cooking black-eyed peas with filterless Camel cigarettes. Filterless Camel. So you just wanted to get all the cancer, huh? You don't want to. Well, you're right. You should be able to have it all too. And I hope you find that slip. And D says, that's like if Judge Lynn said, come here, I'm gone. So you like Judge Lynn? Is that what you're saying? And Brother Samuel says, do women think military? Is that why they wear camouflage makeup? Stop it. Well, makeup is supposed to be an enhancement, not like a overhaul, you know, I guess. And let's see here. And Pioneer says, confidence is how you feel about yourself. Charisma is how others feel about you. Okay, I like that. Sunlight says, charisma and confidence go hand in hand. I mean, that's kind of what I thought. And Lamarcus, how you doing? You say, what up, Demetra and Donovan? Morning says, Donovan, Dallas Cowboys is blue and blue, white, and silver, almost the same as that color as the loser Detroit Lions. As you know, they haven't won a game since 55 and 65 years. Waste of time. Oh my God, they just need to just disband the team. And Pioneer
No,
says,
like I said, what did I tell you before the show started? These owners don't care if they win the Super Bowl or not. That's not about that. They're making $1 billion plus. Detroit just got a brand new stadium at taxpayer expense. A private owner just got a brand new $3 billion stadium at taxpayer expense.
That's crazy. Pioneer says a man can be confident all he wants. He'll just walk around with his head held high alone and confused as hell as to why he's alone if he has no charisma or other factors. Okay. And Moni says, I've heard during the Vietnam War, World War II, many men having children with Vietnamese and German women, and the German women putting the children up for adoption, shame of their black skin, pretty dumb.
Yeah. Same thing in Vietnam right now. Still to this very day, all the black kids over there in the Asian culture, in the Vietnamese culture, that's the lowest of the low. They are basically shunned and live like in their own villages and stuff like that.
So Al, you say, explain that when the wife is totally submissive, she controls the husband unknowingly. So basically, you, as it is said, as a woman, you don't have to try to walk in being an alpha by, telling your husband, do this, do that, do this, you should do this, you should do that. By her submitting and walking in her more feminine position, she actually gets him to relent, because that is what softens him up, not him being controlled and told what to do. She uses her feminine wild, if you will, to do that. The Pioneer says, I think people often associate charisma with confidence because they're usually so successful. It automatically produces confidence. Success produces confidence, not just faking it. I agree.
False start. San Francisco. They're going to do it again. It was fourth. And I mean, talk about inches. So hopefully the Cowboys get it back with 30-something seconds left, 40 seconds left. Pray.
Thank you for that. Where'd it go? It's your girl. How you doing? He says, hello, all. And Sunlight says, the runny nose nerds wearing high water. High waters were not attracted to their female counterparts, meaning they're female doppelgangers. Yeah,
I don't know. I got my fair share.
You had a Jerry curl, though. And Thunder says she can't get pregnant if you aim for the teeth. Your women don't have no teeth. So what is you talking about, okay?
In the military, we call a girl that can take her teeth out gummy bears.
I'm done. And Pioneer says people are often confident from repeated success, whether it's in fighting, sex, dancing, making money, etc. If you don't have success, what do you have to be confident about? Okay. And Warrior Scholar, how you doing? He says, had business calls all day. Made sure I came to like the video later. I'll watch the replay. Peace. Well, thank you so much. And peace unto you as well. And D says, because that's how they carry themselves. And Lamarcus says, this chat is vicious. Oh my God. That's an understatement. And Issue Girl says, I see I'm late. I'll red tail back to the beginning. Okay. And the Pioneer says, I actually don't think it has much to do with being a thug or a bad boy. There are plenty of bad boys who are selling dope and getting in fights who have a hard time with women. True. And GA Fit Health says, laugh out loud. And Morning says, Demetra, I love Chico DeBarge, and I could have went for James DeBarge, and I like L DeBarge. I think I could procreate with one of them maybe 15 times. Okay, make them call my name, hollering Moni Love. Okay. Well, hopefully you'll be having Donovan hollering your name, and we Kind of want to hear all about it, but I mean, since y'all have such an open love affair here.
I could be quite surprising.
We do. We want to hear all about it, okay? D says, yes, they go hand in hand. I'm just saying, Thunder, your women ain't got no teeth. I mean, so you ain't got nothing to worry about it. I think their factory is all dried up too, so you good. You good. They done smoked them all out with the filterless camels and all of that, so you ain't got nothing to worry about. LaMarcus says, look at Dapper Donovan. Yes, quite the ladies' man. And Pioneer says, I think charisma is that same quality that makes many Black leaders so influential and allows them to gain so much power in our community. I will agree with that. I totally agree with that. So I don't see any more comments for now. How you doing, Donovan? How the Cowboys doing?
They're at the 50-yard line with 15 seconds ago, 14 seconds ago.
Got it. Okay. I got something for you.
What do you got?
Moni says, I got to be rubbing your back, Donovan, in some warm peppermint lotion, playing the ever most gentlest Will Downing, drinking Don Perignon. You can stay a good 2 weeks. We can be at the Westin.
What? I even like the Will Downing. Okay, we got some Will Downing going on. Okay. I could do that. I could do that. Have Deanna call me after the show.
You want her to book you a flight?
Yeah, go ahead and book me a flight. Go ahead.
Moni, give us the details. We're sending it right over. And we want you two to do a live from you know how Boyce Watkins and his wife, they do pillow talk.
Yeah.
We want Donovan and Moni pillow talk. We want you and Moni to be on your side of the screen when we come on live again, okay?
All you're going to hear is bumping and grinding, moaning and groaning.
That's from you trying to get up because your knees is bad. Your back.
Right, exactly. Game's over. Cowboys lost.
Are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised. Like I said, I didn't get my thing up at all. I didn't get my hopes up at all.
Don't tell Moni that, Kay.
Oh, sorry.
You said I didn't get my thing up.
No problem with that. No problem with that yet.
All right, for real though, for real. Pioneer says, you've seen this in school, even as children, some people are just cool and liked for some reason, and you can't put your finger on it as to what it is so many liked about them. Yeah, it was charisma. I would say, in Pioneer, you also say, thank you, King and Queen. Great show as usual. No, thank you. One Who Cares, you says, great live. Well, thank you guys. And LaMarcus says, Don Pimp type. And Kugler says, Congress passed that report, all $600 deposits to IRS law to stop gig workers from, it says, circumvent the tax code. Can men get amended for what constitutes as child support claim? Trash can sperm ain't it. I mean, you know, like y'all said earlier, there needs to be a candidate to run on abolishing the child support system. He probably would win. And Moni says, the Pioneer, so he talked to Pioneer. Thunder says, yep, fishing in a dry lake, all the fun, none of the consequences. I can't stand you. LaMarcus says, Demetri, you dead wrong for doing Donovan like that. I was repeating what he said. I wanted him to be careful because a lot of times when Donovan says stuff, y'all remember when we was auctioning him off? We was up at, I think, like $50-something, and then it plummeted down to like 58 cents because he was talking about taking the women to Popeyes and they can supersize. Like, what the hell? And Charles says, Sunlight and Demetria, you guys don't realize the guys that you thought weren't good enough, they get something and you think they're good enough. Now those are the ones who trick you on, they remember. Well, I will say this, me personally, my high school sweetheart I would consider him a nerd. He was a nerd. I mean, he wasn't popular. He had friends and stuff, but he was very astute. Went to all his classes and he worked and all of that. I mean, so he was kind of square, and I thought that was attractive about him. So that was just me. He didn't have a snotty nose or nothing. He wasn't flooding, but and Kubler says gummy bears. Donovan ain't got no sense. And Thunder says, but those metal studs for the new implants work.
Make sure she keeps her enamel teeth on top. Make sure she twists them in. Make sure she keeps them twisted in.
Wait. He says, but those metal studs for the new implants worry me a little.
Come out looking like Jaws from the James Bond series, Roger Moore. And was that Moonraker?
While smoking the filterless Camel. Oh, you stupid. Okay. Marty says, Donovan, since you've been as a pilot, have you ever bungee jumped from an actual plane? I would imagine that would be really fun to really feel the air and the wind and the gravity pulling you down at once.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys.
Right?
I'm gonna tell you guys this. Okay, it makes no sense to jump out of a perfectly good aircraft. It's not on fire. It's not falling out of the sky or whatever. So that makes no sense. And it's part of the training when you go through pilot training in the military. Yeah, you do have to jump out of an airplane during the training, sometime during the training. But no, that's not natural for a pilot. And most likely, if a plane is going down, you're looking at 6 Gs minimum. You're going to be pinned to your seat, so you're not going to get out either way it goes. So you're going to ride it down. A good pilot's going to ride it down. But I would never go bungee jumping. That's still not a natural thing.
Randy, you say laugh out loud. There's some foolishness going on up in here. Sunlight says, so do the women. And Charles says, and it was a typo. I meant if the woman is taking the pill and stops taking it, it's still trickery to get pregnant. Oh yeah, for sure. It's still trickery. But I'm saying, are you just going to depend on her saying, oh yeah, honey, I'm on the pill, don't worry? Or are you going to say that's great, but let me strap up too? I'm just saying. If I was a man, I'd be like, I hear you, but however, and Gilberto says, oh, wow, Donovan going to be flued out. That's what I'm talking about. And Marty says, Donovan, I'm with you 100% on this one. All jokes aside, when you get a female that will go to that extreme, she's not caring about that child, is going to grow up not having the father side in life. Yes. And Charles says, charisma is your swag. Confidence is how you feel about yourself. And Robbie cracking up, and Kugler says, Donovan and Moni Hunt sitting in a tree kissing. KISSING. Yes, indeed. We want to be invited to the wedding, please, and thank you. I sing. What y'all want me to sing?
That song when Ricky and Lucy got married, and the old lady started singing Mrs. Trumbull, whoever her name was. I love you truly, truly, dear.
I'm about to fall out.
The old famous Negro spirituals.
Kubler said, Donovan, you about to get a new child support case?
I know. I'm worried. I'm concerned. I'm getting set up.
Y'all crazy. Marty says, I could understand, Donovan, you want to meet the alpha male and have somebody to take charge and rock your boat and have your calling his name, but that's going too far. That's sleazeball. Okay. So anyway, y'all, we are right at 2 hours. And LaMarcus says, it's written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. Song. Okay.
Produced by Gerald Levert and Mark Gordon.
Yeah, okay. Y'all want me to sing that at your wedding? Marty says, The major great Buddy lost her son Thursday. He says from the virus, and he had previous heart problems with December 24th and died January 13th. Now, who died? And Thunder says, serious question for Donovan. Would you recommend Black men to get their pilot license, and how would we go about getting it?
Yes, only 1% of the population in the United States actually owns a pilot certificate to fly airplanes. And put it like this, we're having a zombie apocalypse all over the place, right? So if you're living in the South and let's say there's a hurricane and typhoon, you got the evacuation route, right? Remember in the movie Independence Day when everybody was trying to evacuate and the highways become a parking lot? But you have airports that have airplanes, and if you don't know how to fly them, you get in there, do what you got to do, and you can avert all that. So yes, I would recommend people get their pilot license. And how many of you ladies, Black ladies out there, African American, what do you want to call yourselves? You queens, you could actually get your pilot license and all the training and the scholarships paid for through the Black Pilots Association. They've got all kinds of scholarships that are there. A lot of white women are taking advantage of these benefits for the women because they qualify as minority, and they're doing that and going into the airline business as pilots because there is now a shortage of pilots.
Got it. All right, y'all. So for real, we out of here. I see everybody saying good show and all that. Thank you. And thank y'all for being here. Of course, we love having y'all as the active audience. It makes it so much more fun. And thank you, Donovan, for being here with all your craziness and information.
Damn Dallas Cowboys. I knew it. 28 years, 27, 28 years without a championship. The drought continues.
Maybe we'll pray harder next time. Maybe. So anyway, and also thank you, Marcus Guy, for everything he does behind the scenes on Facebook. I don't know if he was here today, but just in case he was, thank you. And again, thank you, Donovan. We will see y'all back here live next Sunday for sure. Thank you all who donated to the show. We love and appreciate you for that. Every little bit that you do donate helps to keep the channel going and everything in between, y'all. So y'all have a great week, and we will continue to put our podcast out throughout the week because we always have an opinion about something. And Brother Sam, you say, are you going to do a show on King with youth as a special guest? Is that a suggestion? We could. I mean, tomorrow is, well, yesterday was his birthday, but tomorrow is the holiday that they celebrate. So, I mean, I guess we could do something on King. Donovan, you sent me something I need to watch. So we'll look that up. Okay, so that's a suggestion. All right, so yeah, I guess I have to find some youth who want to come on here and talk about King. All right, y'all. So anyway, we will see y'all next time around. You guys, please be safe and have a great day. And if you're off tomorrow, enjoy your holiday. Peace.